The legend of the Cachacondor. There's a story about eagles that's been going around the internet for a few years. The story has a good moral, but it is pretty unbelievable. Why? Because the story really isn't about eagles. Instead, the story is actually about the Cachacondor from the mythology of the native Amazonians. The Cachacondor was a powerful and mighty thunderbird that could live for 1,000 years. But to reach that amazing age, the Cachacondor had to make a difficult decision. By the time it had lived to its 500th year, its once long and flexible talons could no longer grab prey that served as food. Over the centuries, its long and sharp beak had become bent. The feathers on its wings had become thick and heavy, making flight difficult. At that point, the Cachacondor was left with only two options. Either it would die or go through a painful process of change. In order to go on living, the Cachacondor would fly to a mountaintop where it would sit on a nest. There the Cachacondor would rub its beak against a rock until it was completely worn back to its nostrils. Then the Cachacondor would wait for a new beak to grow back. Then, using its new beak, it would pluck out its talons. When its new talons grew back, the Cachacondor would preen and pluck out its old-aged feathers, while new feathers grew in their place. And after this, the Cachacondor would take a wonderful flight of rebirth and live for 500 more years. So, why is change needed? It is so we may survive and live. In order to live a full life, we need to start a process of change. Sometimes we may need to get rid of old, difficult memories, unhelpful habits, and a rigid mindset. It is only when we let go of those past burdens that we can take advantage of present opportunities. In order to begin living fully once again, we need to let go of negative, old, limiting concepts that no longer work for us. We need to open up our minds and allow ourselves to fly high again, like the Cachacondor.